Hello everyone, Treecks here. Welcome back to Metroid Prime Remastered on the Nintendo Switch. This is part 11. And this is going to be the part where we are going to continue exploring the Chozo ruins. And I hear you ask, hey, didn't we already defeat the boss here in the Chozo ruins? How can we still continue exploring it? Well, nobody ever said that defeating the boss actually means the true end towards an area. We now have more weapons to us, of course, and therefore have the ability to continue in certain areas that used to be dead ends. And do you remember actually seeing one here in the furnace? I believe you do. We actually picked up an energy tank here in a morph ball tunnel. But right besides that morph ball tunnel, we actually saw a spider ball track. So, what used to be a dead end is now no longer a dead end. Let's go return to the furnace. Luckily we don't have to worry about picking up the energy tank anymore. That we've already done. And therefore the puzzle that's in the room before it, we also don't have to do anymore. However, there is going to be one more item we can pick up in this room. The traversing corridor between the watering hole and the arboretum. The gathering hall, I believe this room is called. But now that we have the double jump, the space jump, we can actually pick up an item that was not accessible to us earlier. It's actually going to be at the top over here. You can already hear it the moment we jump over here. Jump on this red light over here. And then jump on here. And then try to find yourself a weapon which you can use in order to break this open. I think a morph ball bomb actually works. For another missile expansion. Man, finding a lot of these in this game. Already able to carry 115 missiles. Awesome. But anyway, let's go continue. There's still a story we need to cover. There's still a world we need to save. There's a Phazon problem we need to solve. There's a space pirate problem we need to solve. Let's go to the furnace again. Remember, that's actually in this room. The puzzle we've already did in this room, luckily. No need to do it twice. The morph ball tunnel to the right over here is the only thing that we did here in the furnace. That actually led towards an energy tank. But now, continuation has opened up. The spider ball track over here gives us the ability to advance. Be careful in this room, because these blocks will actually disappear the moment you go over them. The spider ball can actually make it easier for yourself. Because as you can see, the blocks will disappear quite quickly. So make sure to charge your boost ball. And then quickly jump. And over here, boost again. And you should be able to get over. Now entering the main part of the furnace. There's plenty of enemies here. Actually quickly take care of them so we can focus on the rest in this room. There's some lore that we need to read. There's an enemy we need to scan. There's a lot of things we need to do here. Let's go for the enemy first. Oh, and by the way, there's also another white door over here. Might actually also be a hint on what we're going to find pretty soon. First, on the spider ball tracks up here, we can scan a new type of enemy, a bladed parasite. We're not able to reach them quite yet, so ignore them for now. But one thing we are not going to ignore is another tale told by the Chozo of old. What is this otherworldly pestilence that infests the land, seeking out life in its blind need for corruption? And where did the meteor that brought it originate? Was it crafted by alien hands? Or is it a roving chunk of planet that suffered a violent end? Our minds quail in horror at the thought that long ago, in some corner of the universe and yet unseen by our eyes, an entire planet was perhaps once coated with this great poison. Whatever cataclysm may have ruptured that doomed place must have been mighty, indeed. And if other meteors from it spread through space, bearing this evil to the far corners of the universe, we hold fast to the hope that this is not so, that only the suffering remnants of this evil are here on Tallon IV. Then at least there is hope for its eradication. Yeah, that is one interesting way to actually look at this. Where did this poison come from? We know a meteor actually crashed on the planet bringing this poison, the Phazon. But where did it actually come from? It might actually be man-made. And is there more of it? Well, there are more Metroid Prime games, so I can already tell you there's more of it. That is not the secret. But for now we're only dealing with the stuff over here on this world. And in this world we're also dealing with a lot of item pickups, including in this very room. Let's go see what we need to do again. It's going to be up here somewhere if I remember correctly, but I'm not exactly too sure what I need to do. I think there's something we need to scan on this side. Yeah, a lot of lore first of all. Let's do that first. And that is here of course as well. To the Entrusted One. If you read these words, then our hope has not been in vain. Your path is fraught with danger. Monstrosities beyond description lurk in the shadows, starving, hunting for prey, searching for ways to quench the poisonous urges that bloom in their brains. Some of these are shrewd, but they are blinded by their evil designs. Believing in the black promise of the great poison, they seek to harness it for their own ends. It is these last that are the greatest danger. When you rid the universe of these creatures, you will be the true Entrusted One. Oh, thank you very much for the confidence. Our job is important, we know. We definitely know. None know if our temple, the Cradle, will prove powerful enough to contain this evil forever. For now, it wraps around that abomination, cutting it off from the world above. However, we believe the power of Cypher, which was produced by linking the 12 artifacts, should be strong enough. The fate of this world is now left to the one who will collect all the artifacts in the future. The time when the Entrusted One knows is approaching. Yeah, and I can already tell you, and that time is right now. Because we are collecting the artifacts in order to enter that temple. But we are far from done, of course. Many Chozo are gifted with the distant sight, and even more begin to learn it, as our harmonization with the universe becomes more and more complete. We peer forward, seeing prophecy in the ripples of the water, hearing rumors of coming days on the breath of the wind. Though we celebrate these distant sight, many of these visions are dark, the worst of the prophecies, and the most common tells of the coming of the worm. Born from parasites, nurtured in a poisoned womb, the worm grows, devouring from within, until the world begins to rot. Not all prophecies come to pass, of course, but we cannot help but fear this dark portent. That I can imagine. A worm, you say? As if the great potion wasn't bad enough. It seems it has grown something very dark and very dangerous. Perhaps that is also something we need to worry about at some point. But first we're going to worry about expansions. And this is indeed what I needed to scan, that I indeed remembered. That will open up a morph ball slot. Let's see how we need to get to it. There's a half pipe in here, of course. No, this is not active yet. Where are you again? Oh, on that side. So let's go boost our way over here through the half pipe. Not worrying about the giant worm quite yet. So we can worry about morph ball slots at the top of a room. We'll activate the second one. This time around on this side of the room. And that will activate the piston, if I remember. Yeah, there we go. It is timed for some reason, not sure why. It's really close by, so it's kind of useless to have this being timed. But here is our missile expansion. So, that was our business in this room. There's another white door over here, by the way. Is that indeed going to be the next item we're going to get? A way to open up the white doors. A new beam. A new power for Samus to actually shoot around her arm cannon. We have been finding plenty of them at least. Scarabs. There's not really something for you to heal for me. Only my missiles, but for that another thing is going to be coming up really soon, in all honesty. Let's go enter the next important room in the Chozo ruins. This is the Hall of the Elders. And of course, this is going to be a very important religious site for the Chozo, and therefore more Chozo ghosts actually appear here. Let's go kill them. Luckily this room is not very big, so there's not a whole lot of rooms these guys can actually escape to. Oh, I say it's plural, guys, but there was actually only one of them. Making it even easier. Well, let's go up first. There's one thing I'd like to show off in this room before we start talking about the awesome Chozo statue over here. Let's go see where you were again precisely. I cannot really see it on the map. The big M we see on the map, that's indeed what we're after. Here's a morph tunnel that we need to go into. And here we find something that looks like a safe station or a map station, but is indeed a third type of station. This is a missile station. Remember those from Super Metroid? Step in these. And our ammo fully replenishes. Not our health. Unfortunately, it does not replenish our health. But it does replenish our missiles. How awesome is that? Well, after making sure we are full on missiles again, which is not per se easy anymore at this part of the game because of being able to carry so many, we are going to read on and perhaps learn about what this room is about. Things bound to earthly shapes are temporal and frail. Existing in a single dimension, they are fragile, vulnerable, and ultimately mortal. However, not all things obey to this law. Shapeless, they wait beyond the realm of perception, emerging only when one arrives who can feel their presence. Such is the will of the Chozo. Our will to defeat the evil seeping into this planet remains. We desire only to see the darkness meet its end. The will of the Chozo has no mind or reasoning of its own, though. This will be the Entrusted One's trial. Is this an attempt for them to actually describe why Chozo ghosts are a thing? Let's hope not. Let's focus on this Chozo statue. Oh, looks so awesome seeing one of these again. You don't see them as much as in the 2D Metroids, but once again, Chozo statues and morphing into their hands is the thing again. In this case, it is actually because he can actually throw us upwards to the spiral track. So we can activate a morph ball slot, which will activate 3 more. However, these are going to be special morph ball slots. 3 beams we need in order to open them up. And as you can recognize by the colors, we are currently only in possession of the first one. And jumping blindly backwards is not easy to do. Getting on this platform. But here are 3 types of morph ball slots. 2 of them we cannot open yet because of not having the appropriate beams. But we do have the wave beam. So the purple one we can open. For now, the only morph ball slot we can work with. And that will actually change the room up a bit. In front of the Chozo statue's hands. So we can actually go into it again. And this time around be thrown in a different way. Because the pathway has changed. Let's go see where we end up now. At the top of the room. And after that, the room returns to normal. Activating the slots again. Waiting for the next time we activate them. Which is not going to last for very long. Because we are going to find the white beam really soon. There were already way too many doors that we've seen also requiring that beam. So it's no secret we're going to find it. Now, let's go see what's up here. Does not look like something we can reach. There's a pool of water over here. Let's go see what this thing actually does. Drainage shut-off is holding. Seems there is a drainage shut-off around here. And I think that is what we need in order to advance to the higher parts of this room. Because if we actually break this drainage, the reflecting pool will actually go away, revealing a half-pipe for us. So once all of the water is gone, we can half-pipe our way up here, get eaten by a stone toad, which will make sure we actually stay up here. And then we can actually go towards the other side, opening this door. which is going to be the storage room for our third beam in the game. The white beam, opening up white doors. And also the white morphle slot at the Hall of the Elders, of course. Say hello to the ice beam. Also making an appearance in this game, of course. Hold down on the right stick in order to switch to the ice beam. So we can now open white ice doors. And of course, also have the ability to freeze everything that we find. The third beam is available to us. Even more powerful than the wave beam. And also with a couple of unique traits to it, of course. The ability to freeze. Hi, Mr. Stone Toad. Unfortunately, you're not something I can freeze, so I'm not able to show it off on you. But anyway, before we move on to the next area, which is now available to us because of the ice beam, we are first going to backtrack quickly towards the Hall of the Elders. Because there's a morphle slot I'd like to try out. Open up the shortcut so we can get into the room quickly. And hopefully... Never mind, scratch that. We don't get the ability to skip the Chozo fight. Oh, and this time around we do have 3 of them. This is going to take a while. I just wanted to pick up an item quickly and now I have to fight 3 of these guys at the same time. I am not pleased. Unfortunately, we're not able to test out the ice beam on these guys. Remember what I told you last time? Chozo ghosts can only be defeated by the power beam and the missiles, nothing else. Even though it's tempting to use the wave beam or the ice beam on these guys, it won't do a thing. But okay, it looks like that was it. I was able to defeat them a lot quicker than I feared it would actually take. Thank you, super missiles. Anyway, ice beam time. And then morphle slot number 2. Where will we actually be brought? Another change of track. A new path has opened. Let's go into his hands. Oh! Would have been nice if that actually worked out. Sir, your hands are not very big. It's hard to actually roll into them. That is easier in a 2D Metroid. Roll. Ooh, roll down below. Energy tank. Thank you. That was definitely worth the trip back, I think. Later on in the future we need to take another trip back. Because there's also a red morph ball switch. For that the 4th beam is going to be required, obviously. Not in our possession for a long time. So the Chozo artifact in this room. If you actually read the hints in the Chozo temple, you will find out there's also one in the Hall of the Elders. And that is going to be with the red morph ball switch. That is not going to be a surprise, so I'm not going to keep that a secret. That is an easy puzzle to solve, so I can already give that away. The Chozo artifact we cannot grab yet. At the moment we actually obtain the red beam. I will of course keep a secret what that is precisely going to be. So for now we're going to keep it vague and call it the red beam. But that is going to be required for the Chozo artifact in this area. In the meantime, we can actually talk about the save station over here. If you take a look at the map over here, you will see the save station will continue in this direction. And that will lead to an interesting elevator. It leads back to the Tallon Overworld, the east part of it. Might as well take it and see where it actually leads. The other room that we actually did not check out yet in the reflecting pool also leads to an elevator. Also connects to the Tallon Overworld, by the way, but that one leads towards a dead end. That will lead to an area we actually cannot access yet, so I'm not going to bother checking that one out. We will find the other side of the elevator later on. Because then that area from the reflecting pool will actually work as a shortcut, you might say. But we cannot actually access that area from this direction. So we are going to go this way. Hello, Mr. Mushroom. Let's see where we end up, actually. Oh, in this tunnel we find a bit of a missile expansion in the Venom Weed. Please don't hurt me too much. Oh, they're hurting me too much. Let's go. Shoot them first. Alright, where are we? This looks like... Oh, there's pirates here. Let's go freeze the pirates. An easier way to actually take care of the flying pirates. Freeze them and then shoot them with a missile. And they die in one hit. Awesome, right? But anyway, this looks like to be the pirate spaceship that actually crashed. Yeah, this is indeed the frigate crash site. After the frigate Orpheon actually blew up in orbit. A bit our fault, I know, but it actually crashed down on Tallon IV itself. And this is apparently where it crashed. Interesting. However, we are actually not able to get to it because we need to go through a watery tunnel underwater over here. And going underwater, that's something we cannot really do. We are really troubled underwater. We cannot jump high enough. We even cannot grab the missile expansion over here. So we are forced to actually go towards our landing site again, which is also near here, by the way. Oh, there's pirates actually checking out something over here. So let's go take care of you first. And then find out... Oh, ow! Oh, this is what we're checking out. This, ladies and gentlemen, is our first actual encounter with pure Phazon. That is what these guys were checking out. And it's really toxic. As you might have seen, if you touch it, it will hurt you. So be careful. For now, this is going to be enough for this episode. Our discovery of the frigate Orpheon again, which crashed over here. And a canister of Phazon that the pirates were actually checking out. Let's return through these rooms and get towards the landing site again, back to our ship. Which also functions as a good little save point. So, I will see you folks in the next episode, and thank you for watching. Treecks out.